Okay, so Quinyon Mitchel is really lining up everywhere in training camp. Plus, the battle up front, Jurgens versus Jalen Carter, is getting intense. We also got to talk about the third-round rookie, Jaylx Hunt, showing up, as James Bradberry told us the reason he gave up his corner spot. And Jalen Hurts continues to have his best training camp, pretty much leaving Kellen Moore speechless. But instead of breaking down training camp myself, Isaiah Rodgers joins the show, and he had a lot of interesting things to say. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. Do your boy a favor and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So through the first 4 days of Eagles training camp, we learned a lot. The Eagles offense has been absolutely explosive, but the defense has been around the ball. Just good offense always beats good defense. However, rookie wide receiver Ainias Smith has had some struggle with drop passes. Bleeding Green Nation reported on Thursday that Ainias Smith dropped a pass and failed to come up with a contested grab later on. Smith has also struggled with muff punts, so his hands are looking like an issue. Now, this was never an issue for him in college. I just think he got some training camp jitters with him being injured during OTAs, so he's just getting his feet wet. I'm not too worried about it. I think as camp goes on, he'll definitely get out of this funk. As for Jalen Hurts, we continue to hear how sharp he is, not just from the media, but also Kellen Moore, who said he absolutely has command of the offense. But when he was asked about the collaboration of play construction with Jalen Hurts, this is what he had to say.
Oh, yeah, Jalen's a huge part of this process. I think, his experience over the course of the last few years, all the things that he's been able to accomplish, we want to build on those things. And so when there's a comfort level with a certain concept or scheme, we want to make sure we emphasize that, continue to build off it. Okay, now if this is a core play that we feel really great about, how can we complement that play? How can we protect it with a different presentation, a different look? And those are the fun conversations we get to have because we're continuing to build this thing each and every day.
If you think the combination of Jalen Hurts under Kellen Moore is dangerous now, wait till they get comfortable. Now let's take a look at some lineup updates per Zach Berman for Saturday's practice. Tyler Steen remains the top right guard for the Eagles. Becton is playing right tackle with the twos. Zach Bond is the top linebacker not named Devin White, and Kelee Ringo was up first at cornerback opposite of Slay. However, Isaiah Rodgers took the second series as starting corner. I will say this though, Tyler Steen left practice early with an injury. Not sure what happened, but the once upon a time Chiefs 5th round draft pick in 2022, Darian Kinnard, was the replacement for Tyler Steen. By the end of practice, Mekhi Becton was starting at right tackle, most likely to give Lane Johnson a break since he's older. Remember, Saturday's practice was an hour and 40 minutes, the longest practice ever under Nick Sirianni, and I think we got Vic Fangio to thank for that. Before we flip it over to the defense and hear from cornerback Isaiah Rodgers, who joined the show, let's go over some of the big plays on offense. Paris Campbell burns Darius Slay down the right sideline for an over-the-shoulder touchdown, perfect throw by Jalen Hurts to drop it right in the bucket. Martin Frank said play of camp so far, DeVonta leaping catch over Kelee Ringo on a deep ball from Hurts. DeVonta literally climbed over Ringo to catch it. Brandon Lee Gowton said Jalen Hurts with another dime in one-on-one to DeVonta Smith, who beat Isaiah Rodgers deep down the left side for a touchdown. Shoot, even Britton Covey with the second team was making over-the-shoulder catches. Don't got no video, but shout out to Britton Covey. As for rookie Jaylx Hunt, he continues to surprise people. He had a rep on Thursday where he beat Jordan Mailata to the inside on a running play. Hunt didn't get to the ball carrier, but he disrupted the play. Jordan Mailata hits his head in frustration after that rep, and Jaylx Hunt got some high fives once he got to the sideline. We also heard that Jaylx Hunt had a nice rush, and he batted down a ball from Tanner McKee, a good start to the youngster, who, remember, was one of Vic Fangio's favorite player in the draft, and his ability to drop back could come in handy for some early PT. As for Quinyon Mitchel, he continues to step up, covering A.J. Brown on a one-on-one drill. A.J. falls down first time. A.J. catches the short pass the second time with Q and good coverage. But they're saying A.J. fell because of the toughness and physicality on that rep from Quinyon Mitchel. But of course, if you get A.J. one time, that's cool. He's going to get you back. As for Jalen Carter, who had a sack on Jalen Hurts, he's pretty much in the backfield nearly every play. Jurgens does his best to pull Carter out of the play, but Carter is so quick off the ball, he's able to get past Jurgens to force Hurts into a quick decision than he anticipated. There were a few plays where Hurts had to roll out to just avoid Jalen Carter. He will be a force on the defensive line per Jeff Kerr of CBS. A lot more to get into, including James Bradberry's comments, but we covered that in the one-on-one with Isaiah Rodgers, so let's just skip to that. So today we got a special guest, Philadelphia Eagles cornerback Isaiah Rodgers. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Hanging in there. It's hot. It was probably hot yesterday, right?
Yeah, real humid.
Real humid. So how has camp been through your eyes? And what stood out to you the most thus far through 4 days? I think 3 were open to the public, well, to the media, and then 1 y'all had a walkthrough closed session. But how's it been?
It's been good. I think from the offensive side, it's been a lot of explosive plays, that's positive plays for them, but it wasn't bad looking plays for the defense. So I think everything's just playing out, exactly how we plan on it going right now. And for the first 4 days, everybody getting their feet under themselves and, and getting back into that football shape. Because no matter how much you train and things like that, you're never really in that shape until you start playing ball again. So it's really all gonna come together once we get in this week and, put the pads on.
Facts. I thought the pads would have been on, but I'm guessing it's Monday or Tuesday. Do you know for sure? Or?
Tuesday.
Yeah, because it's a different feel, right? You could be a little bit more physical. Again, you're going against your own teammates, whether it's training camp, joint practice, preseason. We want to be as healthy as we can for the start of the regular season, but it's a different type of physicality once the pads come on, right?
Oh, most definitely. It's a lot of opportunities now because, there's no pads and you never really know how the play would have turned out. But, once the pads come on and you can actually see people actually use their hands and be violent and get off blocks or even make blocks. So it all really plays a big factor when you got the real full equipment on.
Yeah, like that play that the Eagles shared. You quote tweeted it on Twitter and said, Dot, you were there. Like, you didn't get beat. It's just when the ball is put in a certain place where only a receiver can get it, especially when the receiver is someone like DeVonta Smith, it just makes it that much harder, especially with all the rules. Like, corners are at a disadvantage with all the you can't do nothing anymore.
Yeah, I think it plays like that, you appreciate plays like that, knowing they have a great connection. He just knows, the placement of the ball, and Smitty knows have late hands, and plays like that are just, good for the team. And I think that goes to also show, like, when you have pads on, during that I can be more violent in the punch, but knowing it's my teammate and we're playing smart right now. So, we're just taking it day by day.
Yeah, and definitely someone like you can be a little bit physical at the line of scrimmage because you got that 4.28 speed to make up if there's a little, mismanagement at the line of scrimmage. But like I said, both you and Ringo had good coverage on them plays. And I like how Fangio's been playing it, right? It's early in camp. We know that one of the toughest battles is at the cornerback position. They've been flip-flopping, One day it's slaying and you, next day it's slaying Ringo. But, iron sharpens iron. But how has that competition made y'all stronger as a group?
It's been good. We didn't let this competition, take away the brother side of it. So we build each other up every day. And some plays I'm like, oh, you got it this time. He's like, no, bro, it's on you. So, we just keep each other level headed and asking each other questions and just figuring out a way to, make this room stronger and better.
Yeah, and I think Ringo said it yesterday, right? Going against Smitty and AJ is only going to make you better. They're 2 of the top NFL receivers, and you get to go against them every day at practice. Who have you been matched up more thus far through 3 days, Smitty or AJ?
For sure, AJ. Smitty's more like motion guy, more in the slot and things like that, and I'm more outside. So, I've been probably more against AJ and Paris Campbell more than anything.
That's what's up. Yeah, and motion has been pretty utilized thus far through 3 days of camp, right? That's something that Eagle fans are excited about. Last year, we were dead last in motion. Now, again, you don't have to motion to get positive plays because the Eagles were still a top 10 offense. Even though there was some struggles at the end of the season, we finished top 10 in a lot of major categories. Always can get better, and maybe this year we will. But how has the motion been, at least for you guys on the defensive side, learning a scheme under Fangio and trying to dissect the motion that is coming from Kellen Moore?
I think what the offense have to go on right now, they're just trying to figure out what makes the best opportunity for them. I think on us, we just play our game. We don't really let anything on the offensive side dictate if we do this or change anything like that. So as of now, it's really all going to play a factor when preseason gets here and you start breaking down the film of other teams. But against our own, team, we're really just playing our scheme right now, learning the game and learning the playbook and trying to get all that to the most perfection we can get it. So when it's time to actually play the real game, it's second nature.
How would you describe Fangio's scheme and his coaching style through your eyes?
It's made out for corners and really everyone in part of defense to just be the type of player that you want to be in the type of system like this. It's not a robotic system. It doesn't make you be one-dimensional. You're free to, just make plays, and it's actually the best scheme for me, I think.
Would you say it's more zone heavy, man heavy,
It's
or pretty equal?
pretty equal. So you never really know what it'll be. So
what would you say fits your game? Now, of course, in today's game, you got to be able to play both. But,
yeah,
do or die, it's a big third down. What would you like to call B, man or zone?
I'm more of a man corner. I like to know I got this guy regardless of what happens, rather than having to sit in the area and then you make plays and it's like, oh, he's just sitting in his zone. So I like to make my plays, worthwhile. So I think for me, I'm more of a man guy. But I think that's what makes this system good, because you never know what we're going to be in, because everything's going to look the same. So I think that's what's going to make us stand out.
Yeah, and we're counting on the D line to get pressure. I know the following year, not last year, 2022, 70 plus sacks, franchise record, #1 in the NFL. Last year we came down a little bit, and they go hand to hand. If the D line is getting at the quarterback and you only got to guard a receiver for a second or two, it's a lot easier. How has the D line look, especially the two young D tackles, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter?
I think that's what makes us unique. I talk a lot with Nolan Smith and BG and Jalen and Jordan. So them understanding that we're gonna need them and they're gonna need us, and it's all gonna play hand in hand. So Nolan always coming to me like, look, bro, I'm gonna make sure you make the plays, because I'm gonna get back there, and it's gonna force the quarterback to just throw the ball up. So just knowing that they trust us and we trust them, it's gonna definitely take us far.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I do like the rotation on the outside too. BG final ride, but just 2 years ago, playing only 35-40% of the snaps, he had double-digit sacks. So hopefully we can send him off into retirement with some jewelry. You know what I mean? But that's way, way, way down the road. But I definitely like the combination from the secondary and D line. How has the linebackers look? I know they've been rotating both Zach Bond and Nakobe Dean in. I think the constant has been Devin White. He's the veteran in the group, only 26 still. But how have they looked? And would you say I'm correct by saying that in Fangio's scheme, like the linebackers have a lot of responsibility in the middle, or am I kind of off?
You never really know who responsibility is going to be in the middle. But one thing I can't say about linebacker core is, from Devin to Nakobe, it's a lot of speed. They can go sideline to sideline, they can go downhill, and they also can play in the coverage. So, and then with them, they'd be able to, we're in the man call, being able to guard these running backs and throughout the league. So I think that's what makes them different, is they're able to pretty much run with anybody on the field and sideline to sideline, good reaction time. So I think that's what's going to make them stand out a lot too.
Do you want to have a role in special teams, or are you just going to do whatever the coach asks you? I'm talking not just a punt return, but the kick return. I know you got to be thinking about, with the new rules and the fact that you ain't going to have somebody coming down 40 miles per hour or 25 miles per hour hitting you, because it's almost like a run play. The way they are sliding you guys up, they only can get but 10 yards of speed before you might get contacted. I know you probably want to get involved in that because you're a dangerous returner.
That's definitely my idea, purpose of why I wanted to be here as well. And I think with the new rule, I think it definitely plays a factor, and great returners are going to have fun with this one. So I think if you ask me, I definitely want to do whatever coach wants me to do. But hell yeah, I definitely want to be part of it.
Yeah, I think it would be tough though. Like if you end up being the guy on side of Slay, it's going to be tough asking you to play 65%, 70% snaps depending on the game, and then do both of them, or at least one of them. That might be tough. All 32 teams are going to put one of the most dangerous guy back there, because that's like now a legit play that you can take to the crib. I can't wait to see how many touchdowns come just in the totality of the season for this, because it's like a extended run play to me. And if you got a home run guy back there, it could get real interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think I did it a lot in Indy. I started some games over there, and I also still did I do a 13-play drive and turn around and still do the return. So I think what it all comes down to me, taking care of my body and, getting in the film to be able to learn all the special team things I need to learn, including the defense, and then just being in great shape, so I'm not tired, and being able to actually go do it and, have a healthy process at the end of the day. So I think it all really comes down to me and take care of my body.
How has Quinyon Mitchel looked? I know there have been reports he hasn't got too many first team reps thus far on the outside, but they've been playing him at the dime, the nickel. How has he looked through your eyes? I know that in Toledo he was an outside guy, but sometimes if you want to get their best players on, if they're versatile enough, they can mix and match things. I know Cooper DeJean has been sidelined. You ain't see him in camp, only OTAs, but if you want to give me a little bit on him as well, what's your take on it?
I start with Coop. Coop's my guy. We locker mates, and I'm always hyping him up and talking to him. So, like you said, he hasn't been able to perform right now in camp due to the injury, but he's ready. He's prepared. He's mentally taking reps as well. He's always the first one when you're out the sideline, dapping you up, telling you good job. So that's the type of guy you want in the corner when he's not on the field. So, and then when it goes to Quinyon, that's my guy too. We getting a lot closer. And he's just understanding right now, where he's at right now. He's a baller. He knows he can play pretty much anywhere on the field. So I don't think his mindset is, I only can play this. And he knows he can play pretty much anything he needs to play. He got to play outside linebacker. I'm pretty sure he's ready to play it. He's been in the playbook. He's been asking questions. He's been locked in. So I think that's what makes him a lot different than from when I was a rookie. Like, he asks questions. He's prepared. I think my rookie year, I wasn't a guy asking a lot of questions. I was just going with the flow. So I think that's what's going to make him grow a lot faster than a lot of people are going to expect.
Yeah, there's never a bad question. That's what they say, right? How did you feel about Cooper DeJean's talent show, Eminem?
He was horrible. Horrible. How you read lyrics and still get it wrong? I think he was nervous, though. He definitely was nervous. But, I've been up there before on the stage. It sounds easy when you're preparing for it, but once you get up there and everybody's staring at you, if it's not, the first 10 seconds isn't good, it's over with. So it was hilarious, but great song choice, right? He tried. He could have, if he would have pulled it off, it would have been legit. But it is what it is. What has been your favorite thing so far about Philly besides the fans? I know you've been connecting with the fans already, and they're waiting for you to make plays. But what has been your favorite thing besides the fan base being as crazy and legit as we are? I try to take the football part of it and try to actually embrace being here. So I think what grabbed my attention and grabbed my eye a lot was the family-oriented vibes that I get from here, from the fans and from the staff. And then my family coming to practice and how they just, made sure everything was fine, everything was perfect. Like, it was nothing wrong. It was no conflicts. They just took care of everybody, and not just me, with me being a coworker here. They just took care of everybody that, attended. So I think that's what grabbed my eye.
Yeah. So James Bradberry spoke and he mentioned you, like the accountability that he came with. And I know the media could get like crazy, especially when there's always these, rumors going around, blah, 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 blah. And I think Bradberry handled it perfect from what he said.
So after the season, of course, I didn't have the best season. So going into my 9th year. I know they signed Isaiah Rodgers as well. Of course, he wasn't able to participate at the time when I requested that. But I knew eventually he was probably going to end up being on the team. We had a lot of young guys in the room at corner anyways. I feel like we was a little lighter at safety. And I can still play corner. It's not that I'm not going to play corner. Right now, my thought process was to just try to be a valuable piece to the team. And I feel like picking up safety, learning new roles. And I also, at the end of the season last year, I was playing a little bit down. So I was already playing inside a little bit, which is safeties do that. They play down from time to time. I was also playing nickel. So I was like, why not, I know then the draft came, so I kind of figured they was going to draft corners anyways because I didn't play too well. So that was kind of my thought process. And then now I'm learning safety. Those guys are getting a lot more reps. And if the time comes to where I'm still on the team and they want me to play corner, I'm going to be ready. Well, I'm on the team right now, so I'm taking it day by day because in the NFL, you never know. So, I could be traded. I could not be traded. So I'm preparing for anything.
How has he been at safety?
He's been good. He's very humble, you know what I'm saying? And he's the type of guy, like, for example, we had meetings and I asked him a corner question, he can answer it. So just by him understanding the corner, him understanding safety, I think that just expands, your game and just makes you more valuable to the team. So I didn't see what he was saying or anything, but I seen he was getting interviewed while I was getting interviewed off to the side. So I haven't really looked into it yet, but I'm pretty sure whatever he did say was a Bradberry type of answer, because whatever he did say, he meant whatever he said, and he's that type of guy. He's all about the team, and I think that's somebody that you not even want in the locker room, but you need in the locker room to keep this core together. With him being an older guy, him and Slay, I think that's somebody that we all could use as a tool.
Yeah, I agree. The fan aspect is like what you do on the field is what matters, and it does. But there's so much that goes through a team inside the locker room, the week leading up to the game, and just preparation and mindset, culture, all that stuff. You need them guys on the team, and losing a guy like Jason Kelce and Fletch from last year, 10-year vets on both sides of the ball is definitely good you got guys like Bradberry, whether he's playing or not, to be there. AJ stepping up as a leader. Saquon has been pretty vocal too. He's just getting there. He's new like you. How has Saquon's vibes been at practice? Now, again, it's hard to really see the running back in training camp because you really need the pads on for the running back, and we're not going to do too much. But from the day he got here, just to the last interview he did with Deanna Rusani, I think it is. I'm horrible with names. That being said, he just keeps saying, he looks in the offensive huddle and he's like, Jalen, Smitty, AJ, and now you add himself. I love that energy he's bringing, but how have you seen him and his vibes been, whether it's in the locker room or on the field?
He motivates me a lot. He comes up to me probably every day, and he's just like, you ain't get a pick yet. You ain't gonna get no pick. Like, he just motivates me. So the plays I do make, I go right to him, and I'm like, I'm telling you, like, I'm gonna make these plays. So we just motivate each other. He'll come out the hole, and break a tackle or spin off something, and I'll say, I would have probably tackled you. I'm just be talking. So we just keep each other level headed, and we just really just enjoying our first year here and just having fun. And you can just tell he's happy to be here. And I feel the same way when I look across the field. I'm like, this is like a Pro Bowl offense right now. So I feel like I'm in a Pro Bowl game sometime at practice. So, he's embracing it, having fun, and just taking it all in, and I'm doing the same.
Yeah, and so far, like, there's one beat reporter, I believe Elliot Shore Parks. He be keeping like stats, and it's training camp. We're not really worried about everything, but like he said, Jalen has been like legit on the money. He's only seen a few incompletions. The ball rarely hits the ground. How have you seen Jalen? Now, this is your first year, so you weren't really on the team, but you do your share of watching football. Just knowing what you know about Jalen and seeing how he's coming in training camp, learning a new offense under Kellen Moore. How has he been like commanding the offense through your eyes?
He's been good, very vocal. He breaks the team down when it's time, and he's always just telling us stay in the playbook, stay healthy. So he's definitely a great leader, from my point of view. And then when it comes to the way he's been practicing, like you said, whoever had the stats is definitely right. He's been throwing the ball, dots consistently, like rolling out of pocket, running. So he's just been getting the crowd going at practice, and that's somebody that everybody's looking forward to see how he's doing training camp. He's definitely delivering right now.
You're looking forward to August 1st is the open practice?
Thursday, yeah.
It's a practice, but that link is going to be dang near field for a practice. So you're going to get your first taste of like legit Eagle craziness. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been seeing the videos, and it's kind of like take me back to the Smitty softball game. I saw videos, and I was like, oh, okay, it's lit. And then when I got there, I'm like, damn, it's lit. So I think just seeing the videos now, I kind of understand what people mean when they say it's like a game, because it's literally sold out. But I think I'm ready for it. I think I'm ready for the atmosphere and just to hear the fans and, engage with that, environment. So I'm definitely ready for that. That'll be like my first time running out the tunnel at the link, but it's definitely going to all feel real then.
That's when you're going to get your first pick, right?
I don't know. It might be Monday. It might be Tuesday.
He said, well, why wait, right? Why wait? Yeah.
No. For sure.
Looking at a rookie wide receiver, Johnny Wilson, have you matched up with him at all? I thought I saw a report back in OTAs, and that's like real shorts and whatnot. But like, have you matched up with Johnny Wilson at all yet?
I did OTAs, like you said. I think he ran a decent route. Like I forgot what the exact route was, but it was a great pass by Kenny. And Kenny put a ball where only the offense could get it, and that's when I dapped up Jonny, but I ran right to Kenny, and I said, yo, great pass. So I think the talent of him is definitely, impressive, because, he throw with two gloves on. So just, it all just plays hand in hand from the O-line to the quarterback to, like you said, to Johnny Wilson. So I definitely only matched him with him probably like 2-3 times.
It's crazy. What is he, 6'6", right?
Yeah.
That got to be one of the tallest guys you ever guarded, because 6'6" wide receivers don't be out there like that. You know what I mean? There's only been a handful in like the last decade that like successful ones, like the Plexico Burris's. I know Braylon Edwards was pretty tall. Calvin, of course, when I think of tall receivers, Calvin Megatron comes right away. But he got to be one of the tallest guys you matched up against, right?
He's 6'6" on paper, but in person, when you line up plus the helmet, he's probably like 7 feet tall. So from my point of view, he's probably taller than 6'6".
Yeah. So there's certain plays, if the ball's put somewhere, I mean, you see 6'6". That's where you got to do the physical part, which really can't go down in training camp, because I don't know if you're really gonna high point it. If you time it right.
You wait for them to bring the ball down and try to make a play. That's somebody you ain't really trying to jump with.
What was your vertical coming out, if you remember?
40.
Huh? 40? Ain't bad. But you could dunk, right?
Yeah.
Bet. So let me just ask you a couple more questions before we get out of here. Is there a game that you got circled on the schedule that you're just like, you know what? I want to be front and center for this game, and tell me why.
I got really 3. I would say
Ooh.
the first preseason game because I'm just ready to get back out there. But for one, it's the Brazil one. And I think because that's like the first game back and just finally, the reality is going to finally hit in.
Prime time.
Yeah,
You're the only game on.
So I think and then you're going against a great team. So, it's a great opportunity to display yourself in front of new fans and just enjoy the whole process. Either that one or against Tampa week 4, going back home, first time in my career playing at my hometown. So I think and then, I'm hungry and I'm pretty sure the Eagles are hungry as well, with the exit last year in the playoffs, the Bucks. So I think we all just gonna go down there with the same mindset.
The Brazil game is interesting. Two of the top teams in the NFC, I think right now, if you just listen to the broad national media, you got the Eagles, Niners, Cowboys, Packers. Watch out for the Lions and the Rams. They're there, but again, anything can happen during the season, but that should be a good one. Jordan Love just got paid too. Extended 4 years, was it 220? I think it was. Shout out to him. 1 year starter, and he got the bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he performed when it was time to perform. He showed that he can do it. So, congrats to him and his team over there. So
beating the Cowboys will get you paid in the playoffs, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Shout out to him though. More power to him. NFC team, but anybody going against the Cowboys, I have to root for that week. You know what I mean?
Got to, mandatory.
Yeah. So with that being said, the last question: do you have any, if you had to say one goal that you're trying to accomplish this year? I know the most important thing is team, and we just trying to stack wins, stack W's for sure. But do you have a personal goal that you're trying to accomplish or achieve, I should say?
I'll say I don't have a set number on tackles or turnovers or things like that because I feel like when I do that, I put a limit on myself. But I did say to myself that I want to perform as best as I can and make enough plays to make up for missing last year. So whether it's 6 picks, then that means I got 3 last year, 3 this year. So I kind of want to just make enough plays, of course, to win, but to definitely try to make it seem like I haven't even missed a year.
Hey, I like that. And, a great year, whatever the stat line is, if you're trying to double it, that's going to be a spectacular year, right. For sure. So there you heard it. Isaiah Rodgers, new Eagles corner. He's been showing love to the Eagles community. I appreciate you for coming on for sure. And we rooting for you and the team, man. The offense, like I said, there've been some pretty plays on offense, but the defense has been there too. And the reports are that y'all flying around and the pads come on Tuesday. That's when you get to really see again. The defense is always at a disadvantage during training camp in my eyes because you got physicality is a big part of defense and doing this, that, and the third. So now the hip drop tackle thing, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Hopefully they're not blowing the whistle every other tackle, but we'll wait and see, I guess.
It's all going to get figured out in preseason. We don't know how it's all going to go.
For sure. With that being said, until next time, y'all know what time it is. We out.
Appreciate that, my boy.